There you go. Okay, everybody, so you got your nice, shiny new rental property. The first thing you need to know is how to repair a few things. And the most cost-effective thing that you can repair is air conditioning. But there's only certain things you can do without a Freon license or an EPA certification. So I'm going to show you how to replace a thermostat. In a rental property, you're going to have inevitably a cockroach problem, especially here in Florida, and it gets in here and messes these terminals up. This is a digital thermostat. Where's the top to this, Mark?
I set it up on the, just a minute.
You can just go get it, it's no problem.
This is the front of the thermostat. It was taken off already.
Un momento.
Okay, we're going back over to the...
That was the digital control that went on there. So the first thing you have to do whenever you work on a thermostat is to shut the power off at the air handler. So we're going to shut this off. It already is. Okay, if you don't do that, you'll blow the transformer inside the air handler. So any straight cool system has 4 wires that go to the thermostat. There's a white, green, yellow, and red. And what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect each one of these, which is pretty basic. But there's a reason that they're marked that way. The green wire is for the field in the blower motor and the air handler. So this will turn that motor on. The yellow, when it's in air conditioning mode, goes outside to the condensing unit where the compressor is and turns that on and cool. The white is for the heat strip inside the air handler. So these 3 wires here, green comes on either in cool or heat, and the thermostat controls whether to supply power to the white wire or the yellow wire. It'd be yellow for air conditioning, white for heat. And then there's a control wire or a supply voltage wire, which is 24 volts, that's red, and it gets connected to the terminal is usually marked RC or RH, and there's usually a jumper as there is here between C and H. C is for cool, H is for heat. So you disconnect this, but you have to have a jumper on a straight wire or a straight cool system, or it won't power up. The rest of it's just dismounting the old thermostat off of the wall. And you're going to get cockroach crap on you most of the time.
Is that a technical term, Jason?
Yes, it is. That's an air conditioning lingo term, cockroach crap.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put this to the side. And the thermostat that we removed was a digital model. And what we're going to do is we're going to install a used mercury thermostat, which is old-fashioned. And the reason we're doing this is because this place doesn't have air conditioning, so we just need to control the heat. Now these types of thermostats have a backing plate. I want to film that.
Okay.
It's basically the same, and then it's got this control board here with the mercury that controls when it comes on and off.
Right. Unlike
a digital one, then you got this usually highly inaccurate cover plate that tells you the inside temperature. So it's basically the reverse of taking it off, and we'll give yourself a little slack in the wires here. Make sure these wires are in pretty decent shape and they're not broken. And you have to be a little delicate with them because it's basically just like telephone wire. So we're going to fish that through there, line up our old mounting holes, if they're not stripped out like most of my places are. If they are stripped out, you can take a wood shim from a door, split it down the center, and jam about an 1/8 inch piece into the hole, and that'll give you something for the screw to bite into. Or you can use a drywall anchor. You're going to anchor this down. It's really important that these are level. So I have pretty good, at at least I think. I have pretty good ability to level things out by eye. If you want to, you can get a little bullet level and do that. So on this circuit board, it's basically the same thing, and a brand new one's a lot easier to read. The only ones you have to worry about on this thermostat are the W, which is for white, the green, which is for the field and the motor, the red, which is the power, there's RH and RC, and then somewhere around here is a yellow, right here. So we're just going to take these wires, and whenever you connect these wires, sometimes the white and yellow look the same. So this is yellow. You want to curve this wire around so it's going clockwise. Go ahead and connect it to the post. And when you curve it clockwise, the screw will help pull the wire in there for a better connection. Put these on nice and snug. Get this a little bit tighter here. Same thing with the white. Curve it around. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be reliable. And that's not going to be. So we're going to curve it a little bit more. The screwdriver does a pretty good job of doing that for you. There we go. Tighten this up. That's better. Now the red can either go to RC or RH. And when I took this thermostat off the other unit, I disconnected it from RC. So we're going to curve the wire, hook it clockwise around RC. And you got to be a little bit careful with these circuit boards too. They're a little bit delicate sometimes. Tighten this up. And then we've got our green for the motor. Don't let the wires touch other terminals or other wires, or else you'll end up having your heat and air conditioning running at the same time, or no fan running, or something like that. Put these in here good and tight, good and snug. I'm going to try to clean this circuit board off a little bit. And I'm not much of a blowhard, so I have trouble doing that. Mark might disagree with me on that. You can actually see how thermostats work on these because there's a circuit board, and this will switch these circuits together. So when you move it this way to the heat cycle, this will connect the circuits for the white right here and the green. And the red supplies the power to them. When you put it to cool, it'll supply yellow and it'll supply RC.
Except in this case, when you put it to cool, it won't do anything.
It won't do anything, right. We really don't have to have the yellow hooked up, but we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
It's not going to affect anything. So, the next piece is this control piece here. And this just goes on. There's 3 screws that line up into the backing plate or the circuit board. Screw these in. Or as I like to say, well, excuse me. If you can get them in there. There we go. This cover will snap on. Most of these covers are beat up anyway.
And there we have it.
Well, we're not done yet. Let's not go celebrating just yet. We're going to turn the power on to the air handler.
All right.
And then if this is wired correctly, generally, when you put the fan, there's a fan position and a control position up here. And when you put it to on, it should kick the fan on in there. However, we may have a blown transformer here already. So I can show you how to test for that. Go ahead a minute. Oh, there we go.
And we're back.
We're back. There was a time delay inside the air handler and the fan kicked on. So
seems like it's working pretty good,
fan's
Jason.
blowing pretty good. And then we're not going to use the cool because there's no air conditioning out back. And if we put it to heat and then to automatic and then raise this up, that mercury will fall down and energize the heat circuit and the fan circuit.